You know that feeling, right? When your mind just won't let something go.
Oh, absolutely.
Like maybe replaying something embarrassing from last week,
Yeah.
or maybe worrying about that meeting next Tuesday.
It feels like we're almost never just here.
Exactly. It's like
Oh.
we live in the past or the future.
Hmm.
So what if there was a way to quiet all that down,
Hmm.
to find more peace, right now?
Well, that's pretty much the heart of what we're digging into today.
Okay.
We're doing a deep dive into this whole concept of living in the now,
Right.
and we're drawing inspiration from a YouTube video that unpacks Eckhart Tolle's big book, The Power of Now.
Ah, okay. I've heard of that one.
Yeah, and the promise is, well, it's pretty compelling. It suggests you can actually get more control over your thoughts, your emotions,
Mm.
really loosen the grip of negativity, and maybe find a more steady kind of happiness just by being present.
So think of this as like the quick guide. If you're curious about being present, but, haven't waded through the whole book or watched the full video,
Exactly. We're trying to boil it down.
we're pulling out the core ideas, those potential aha moments that might genuinely change how you look at things, maybe bring a bit more calm, less overwhelm.
Mm-hmm. And our main source here is that YouTube video by Is Arava Dupame Caffeine.
Okay.
The creator shares their take on Tolle's key concepts, but what's interesting is they also bring in perspectives from Ahmed al-Shugari.
Oh, interesting blend.
It is. And the video mentions, kind of as context, that Tolle's own path to this philosophy actually started when he overcame severe depression.
Wow.
Yeah, which really kind of highlights the potential power in shifting your perspective this way.
Okay, so let's dive in. The video seems to start with this core problem.
Yeah.
A lot of our suffering,
Right.
the sadness, the anxiety, the stress, it comes from dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. That feels pretty universal.
It really does. And the video explains how that works, which I found insightful. When you're
Yeah.
constantly replaying old hurts or, spinning out about what might happen. Oh,
We're
yeah.
basically absent from the only moment that's actually truly happening,
Right,
which is right now.
right.
And it mentions, Ahmed al-Shugari's work touches on this too, how this mental time travel is a big source of unease. So it's not just a Western idea.
That makes sense. And the video connects thoughts and emotions in a really direct way. It calls emotions strong thoughts
Mm-hmm.
and gives the example of thinking about someone you've lost. That thought alone can make you cry.
Yeah, it shows the sheer power our focus has on our physical present state.
Yeah.
That memory, that thought creates a present reality of sadness.
So if focusing on the past or future causes suffering, what's the alternative?
Well, the video presents the alternative as actively, consciously focusing on the present moment. That's the path to happiness it proposes.
Okay.
And it looks at different ways people try to access this state. Some aren't so healthy, like addiction, which offers a temporary escape.
Right, a way to numb out the past future worries.
Exactly.
Hmm.
But then it shifts to healthier examples. Think about artists totally lost in their work, or getting absorbed in a really good book.
Yes. Or even just truly connecting with friends, being fully there in the conversation.
So the idea is to swap out those habits that pull us away
Mm.
with activities that really ground us right here, right now,
Mhm.
like picking up a book instead of falling into some negative thought loop.
Precisely. And to share just how profound this shift can be, the video mentions Eckhart Tolle's own experience. This sudden moment where, after intense suffering, he started seeing incredible beauty in just like everyday things.
Wow, like an awakening.
Kind of, yeah. It suggests this deep appreciation for the present isn't some mystical, unattainable thing. It's a possibility for us too.
The video also stresses how incredibly fleeting this now is. It's always slipping away.
Constantly becoming the past.
Yeah. And it uses that analogy of childhood joy. Kids often seem happier, maybe because they're just in the moment.
Right, they're not usually burdened by yesterday's argument or, stressing about next week's test in the same way an adult might.
It makes you wonder if we kind of unlearn that ability to just be as we get older.
It definitely raises big questions about who we are, if so much of our mental life is tied up in these memories and future plans.
Or identity, almost.
Exactly. The video asks, are we just that collection, that story of past and future, or is there something else, something more fundamental that exists only in the present?
Right. Because the argument is that our minds, constantly narrating the what was and what will be, they actually block us from experiencing what is.
Yeah, they distract us.
And the video goes pretty far, suggesting the past and future are, in a way, illusions. That sounds quite radical.
It does sound radical, but the video clarifies this using Arabic terms, distinguishing hakika, reality, existence, from patia, which is more like wrong action or error.
Okay, how does that apply?
So the idea is, yes, past events happened, they existed, that's hakika, but they aren't the reality now.
Got it.
And future events, they haven't happened, they don't exist yet, they lack that concrete reality. Think about a cup on the table in front of you. That cup is real, tangible now.
Hmm.
The memory of washing it yesterday or the thought of drinking coffee from it tomorrow, those aren't the same present reality.
That makes more sense. So if past and future are these mental constructs, where does happiness fit in? Is it about achieving future goals?
Well, this is a key point in the video. True happiness isn't external. It's not dependent on getting that promotion or buying that thing or circumstances falling perfectly into place.
It's internal.
Exactly. It uses those classic examples. You can find someone with very little materially who is genuinely joyful,
Uh-huh.
and someone with immense wealth who's deeply unhappy. It suggests we interpret events and we have some agency in our emotional response. Happiness becomes an inside job, essentially.
Okay, but then the video talks about a flawed present. This sounds like something I do all the time.
Yeah.
Like you're doing something now, but your mind is totally fixed on a future result, or still stewing about something earlier.
Yes, that's precisely it. The example given is working hard on a project. You're physically there, doing the work,
Right, typing away.
but the real driver is the hope for that future promotion or recognition. Your present action is kind of tainted by a future goal.
Or by regret about a past mistake on the project.
Or that, yeah. And the video contrasts this with a pure present moment, more like that Tolle awakening experience, just a direct, unfiltered appreciation of what is, without an agenda, without past or future coloring it.
So how do we get more of that pure present, let's say the flawed one? Where does the video point us?
It points towards stillness, towards contemplation. The video uses the term tamu.
Tamul,
Yeah.
like meditation or deep reflection.
Sort of, yeah. But the video creator shares a really personal story that clarifies it beautifully. They talk about just watching a parrot,
Okay.
just observing it, getting totally lost in the details, the colors, the movements, losing all track of time, and realizing afterwards that that was a complete stopping of thought, just pure absorbed presence.
And the feeling wasn't just happiness, but something deeper, peace.
Exactly. A profound sense of peace. The video links this to the advice you hear in nature shows, Be still, blend in, just observe.
Right, to really see things.
It's about that uninterrupted focus, which is why the video also mentions the importance of the environment for,
Needing quiet, fewer distractions.
often, yes, being alone, maybe in nature, somewhere the mind isn't constantly pulled by external noise or internal to-do lists, a space to just be.
Okay, stillness, contemplation. And then the video makes a final really powerful connection. It suggests that prayer, Salah, can be a prime source of this insurance.
Yes, and readily accessible.
That's not how I usually think about prayer.
Well, the key emphasis is on prayer done with conscious presence, not just reciting words automatically,
Uh-huh.
but truly understanding the meaning, connecting with the supplications, being fully there in the act of prayer.
So it becomes a mindful practice, a way to connect deeply with the present moment through devotion.
Precisely. The video actually recommends an episode of Ahmed Al-Shugari's Kawatir, the one called Arhina Bihaya Bilal, for anyone wanting to explore that connection further.
Interesting. Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. The main takeaway seems to be if we consciously shift our focus.
Away from the endless loop of past regrets and future anxieties.
Right. And instead cultivate moments of stillness, whether through quiet contemplation or mindful prayer or just being absorbed in an activity.
We can lessen the power those past and future thoughts have over us.
And that opens the door to more peace, more genuine joy right here in the now.
That's the core message, which leads to maybe a little something for you, the listener, to think about today.
Yeah.
Can you find just one moment, maybe even doing something simple like washing dishes or waiting in line, to be fully immersed?
Just notice everything.
Yeah.
Senses engaged.
Yeah, no agenda, just be present and see what happens in your mind. Just observe. How often do you actually let yourself inhabit the now?
It really does make you wonder, doesn't it? If finding more contentment is less about changing our circumstances and more about, well, just showing up for the moments we actually have.
It's a powerful thought.
Definitely something to reflect on. Thanks for exploring that with us today.